Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana and I have Shyam with me today to talk about performance marketing. Hello Shyam, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey Sanjana, thanks for having me. Hey all. Uh, like a little bit of background about myself. I'm Sham. So I'm into this performance marketing space for over 7 years. Started my career at Zoho and then moved to Freshworks and led APAC digital marketing for Freshworks for around 2 years. And then I moved to another SaaS performance marketing agency called Hey Digital, where I used to handle clients like Hotjar, Shri, Newsleap, and few others. And then we started our own performance marketing agency called Tripledart. Now I'm working with a company called remote.com. So where I used to handle everything related to demand generation and user acquisition. So that's all about me. And yeah, Sanjana, let's get
Thank
started.
you. Thank you so much for doing the heavy lifting because if you had, if I was about to give a formal intro about Shyam, then I would have at least taken 15 minutes because there is so much you have accomplished, so much you have done so far. So I was like really worried. How am I going to keep this short? But thank you for doing the heavy lifting. Um, and if you're interested to learn more about Shyam, I've given his website link in the description below, so please do check it out. So, Shyam, then shall we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So before we get into the topic, I'm very curious. What made you start Triple Dart? Like, I know you started your journey with Zoho, and now you're a managing partner of a company called Triple Dart. So, what made you reach here?
Okay, Triple Dart is something we thought of planning for over 2 3 years. But this is the thing, right? Uh, over the period of last 2 3 years, there are a lot of SaaS companies emerging out of India, and
Yeah,
there is a huge demand for performance marketer, especially from SaaS background. So the unit
yeah,
economics, the model, and the entire business ecosystem will be different in SaaS business basically.
yeah,
So to support the scale and the growth of company, there are only handful of performance marketers based in India, right?
yeah,
And if you see
right.
here, like you'll get to know about, like, there are a lot of companies who are getting funding and raising new rounds and expanding their team and stuff like that. But there is no SaaS performance marketing agency based in India to support this whole
Okay.
ecosystem. And that's the reason we started this with, a couple of my other colleagues from Zoho and Freshworks. Now it's going good with around 30 plus clients across the globe. And I would say, like, we are the only performance marketing agency within India to have number of case studies around specific concepts, specific core areas, and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the main reason.
That's great. That's great. And congrats on this new journey. And I think a lot of people they lack the awareness of what performance marketing is, and they don't know the right way to do SaaS performance marketing, especially. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into the topic. So my first question is, how do companies at various stages of the growth stages, I mean, like 1 million revenue, 1 to 5, 5 to 20, and 20 million, how do they go about executing performance marketing? I have this question for you because I know you work for many companies at different stages, and I think you're the right person to answer this.
Yeah, it's a good question, basically. So yeah, so this is how it looks first of all. For example, you're gonna start a product and your MVP is ready. So what the founders will do is
Mm,
they have their own founding team and then start identifying the product market fit. And they once they identify, I mean, like, everything happens after identifying the product market fit. But everything once that's done, so they want to get the go to market strategy,
Yeah.
of a particular product, right? So
Yeah.
that's where performance marketing comes into play. For each type of company, it differs basically.
Yeah.
So they need to first identify the pricing, the unit economics, and then stuff like that. So let me give you
Yeah.
an example. So if a company just raised their seed funding or something, so their goal is to get more footfalls to their particular free trials and to get feedback about like how their product is performing compared to some of the legacy players out there, right? So that's going to be their the first impression or first a KPI that they will give to us. And they want, it's going to be a trial and error method. They'll be eventually test outbound, they'll test some of the other marketing efforts, but performance marketing is kind of easy for them. For example, let's say if you're a founder and if you're ready to give me $10,000, hey Sham, let's test $10,000 in Google Ads and few other ads, a few other channels, and let me know how all these channels work, right? And
Yeah.
we use all these channels differently. For example, we use Google Ads to identify intent behind all these product queries and see how the initial traction for the product. And we use social channels to test the messaging, the positioning of a product. For example, a lot of people within India, they are not considering Facebook and LinkedIn as a primary channel when they are in early stage. But I would recommend for all the founders to test Facebook
Okay.
and LinkedIn, not just for performance, but also for product marketing, right? So what I mean by that is you have like number of use cases, you have like number of different pain point and solutions, right? So you have to identify which attracts your users, right? So the best channel to do it is not to A/B test. You have to create a Facebook ad with all those 3 or 4 taglines, and you have to create another a funnel in LinkedIn with all these use cases and see which
Okay.
use cases. You shouldn't map it with conversions. You should map it with engagement. Engagement as in how many people are actually interacting with your ad, how many people are actually clicking your ad, visiting your website, checking your pricing. So these are all some micro conversion you need to test. So right. So this is
Okay.
this is kind of an early stage company. They will do at before like before 2 to 3 million revenue. And one more important point, at that time the company would not decided to go to build and like a in-house team, in-house performance marketing team, because that is costly, time consuming. Hiring is time consuming, and there is no I mean there are good performance marketer, but it's in a high demand, right?
Yeah.
To get someone to convince people from different companies really difficult at the stage. So they will like outsource some of their efforts to freelancers or agencies to just test at that period, right? And for the aim
Right.
is to generate pipeline, generate different areas, and create a playbook for them. So this particular playbook should be scalable. For example, if I'm giving a playbook to you, it should work
Mm.
for a 10K budget, and it should also work for a 1 million budget. So it has
Okay.
all the research documents, all the keywords, what works, what's not working. I mean, everything related to that particular company. So this is what an early stage company will actually look like, right? So
Okay.
and this is what the engagement will be with an early stage company. And once they move to Series A, what happens is basically they are moving from one orbit to another orbit. For
Yeah.
example, the targets will be 10x, the budget will be 10x, and they might have an internal team, but it's a pure, I mean, a generalized team with a 2 or 3 performance marketer, a performance marketing manager, or a content person, or an SEO person. But still, they have this bandwidth problem, right?
Yeah.
So this stage, what happens was they wanted to, I mean, like test what are all the key strengths for us, and they wanted to double down on that area, basically,
Exactly.
right? So what they'll do is in this stage. They want to capture the market, and this is the stage. There are a lot of content will be produced, and there will be a lot of
Mm.
experiments they'll do, right? So this time, quality matters, not just quantity. Quality matters, and we should be, like generating more pipeline than more leads, right? So for
Yeah.
for a company in Series A, like they care more about the pipeline and all this stuff. So this is how a Series A or 1 to 5 million or less than 10 million companies aim for. But after that, it's more about getting the MarTech or MarTech stack inside whatever we are doing. It should be a very clear view of what we are doing, and secondly, you know, the attribution, everything related from click to deal or keyword to deal. I mean, all things of all sort of marketing analytics and marketing attribution stuff comes into play once they go to the next stage, right? And this
Yeah.
is what happens, and they'll also target different personas, different business sizes. For example, they have a separate model for SMB, separate model for mid market, separate model for enterprise, and all those things. So this is the three main stages. To summarize, first thing, they need more leads to just get feedback and stuff like that. Second stage, more pipeline. Third stage, a clear view on the attribution and analytics and the segmentation. So these are all the three main stages that we used to work with.
Excellent.
Is
I
that clear?
think, yeah. It is very clear. Now, you also mentioned about, Google Ads and other social channels, right? Experimenting how these channels would work for, let's say, an early stage company. So, speaking of those, can you talk to us about, the current trends of, let's say, Google Ads, and what do you expect in 2022 when it comes to Google Ads?
Okay. Yeah. Google Ads is one of my favorite channels. I'm doing this for around like 6 7 years,
Yeah.
and yeah, I handle from a shoestring budget to millions of budget per month. So talking about Google Ads, basically, uh, there are a lot of myths that's still going around within
Okay.
within within the company that I used to work with, right? So one is basically, you know, there are campaigns which are still in existence over like 4 or 5 years. Like if you take company X or company Y, which has been there in the market for around 10 years, they won't touch that particular campaign, right? And most
Okay.
of the campaigns are in manual CPC as of now. So Google is actually improving a lot. Like Google Ads is actually improving a lot. So I would say to all the performance marketers who's listening to this, try for automated bidding, right?
Okay.
You can even get a control of automated bidding, even like if you want to test something. So it's not taking a risk. It's basically telling that particular algorithm to map to your goals, right? So
Correct.
so if you are confident about what you're doing, you should feed more signals to this algorithm. So algorithm is actually far better than us right now. So I would say test more of like automating bidding strategy. So especially target CPA, maximize conversion. So these are all bidding strategies. So just test this. So this is one of my recommendations. And second thing about 2022 is basically, um, you know, uh, add, this sounds funny, but this worked for us. Add more broad match modifier. Sorry, not broad match modifier, broad match type to the campaign.
Okay.
So usually we will target the exact match type. Exact is, for
Yeah.
example, if I want to target CRM software, I put CRM software in a bracket, and if someone is searching for CRM software, then only my ad will get served for, right? But
Mm.
that's not going to work anymore because algorithm is changing. You might heard of like a lot of other match
Yeah.
variants that's getting served within Google. So I would say go with broad match and restrict within your audience setting, or restrict within your bidding strategy basically. So algorithm will do the best work. And secondly, don't do keyword research. Sorry, third point, don't do keyword research, but in opposite, do negative keyword research, right?
Mm.
Negative keyword research is if you want to stop serving ads for something. For example, if we are creating a product for an employer, but there are chances employees will also search for this keyword. For example, if you are creating a product for an employer, then obviously there will be a lot of job seekers such as related to interview, tips, hiring, and stuff like that, right? You can easily put all those like keywords as a negative keyword. To do a negative keyword research, I would recommend to use Google Auto Suggest or keywordtool.io. So these are all two
Okay.
softwares. It will, share all the, auto-populated other queries around a particular phrase or particular seed keyword. So you can use these two tools to create a negative keyword list or something. So that is my second recommendation, third recommendation. And finally, I would, mm, recommend you to use expanded, not expanded text tab, to go with like responsive search ads. So responsive search ads are new category, and you should have like at least one responsive search ads per ad group. So that is also one of the recommendation that I can
Okay.
vouch for. So these are all some of the main thing that's going to be changed in 2022. So one thing, the first point, it's going to be the game changer. If you are, if you have any doubts about automatic bidding strategy or something, please feel free to reach out to me. I can guide you through the best possible practices that we are following.
I have given your LinkedIn profile in the description so people can, get in touch with you if they have any questions. But, excellent answers. Also, can you share some tips about, how can an early stage company go about testing FB or LinkedIn as marketing channels? Because you said they have to test out these channels also, right, in addition to Google Ads. So, what tips would you give to them? What can they try? How can they go about
Okay,
this?
got it. So the problem here is the budget, right? For
Yeah,
an early stage company. So
yeah,
they want everything should be related to a performance, or else to the funnel like MQL, SQL, close one, and something like that. So I would recommend to have at least 15 or 10 percentage of your monthly marketing budget as a test budget, right?
oh,
So test budget is
yeah,
basically, you shouldn't care about. I mean, you should care about the learnings and insights from the test, but it's not actually related to performance or something. So every month
revenue,
you will
yeah,
learn something from that particular test, right? So I recommend first it start with a landing page, right? So
okay,
if you want to create like more landing page, like you will reach out to a product marketer or a copywriter to like create that particular landing page. But how do you test that particular landing page? You don't know, is this particular tagline is striking to my audience, or is this persona is actually get used to what I'm saying, or is
yeah,
like is my product is differentiated with all the legacy players out there. So for that, I would recommend to test with winter.com. Winter.com is WYNTER, which is a message testing tool provided by CXL. CXL is an institute for
yeah,
famous for digital marketing and other or all other online courses. So where you can assign you basically, if you are creating a product for customer support reps, you can assign this particular task to a marketer, product marketer, who already worked in a customer support software, right?
mm,
And you'll get a result in 1 or 2 days, not maximum 20, I mean, like it would be less than 24 hours. You'll get a result, and from that you have to create 2 or 3 taglines in Facebook and LinkedIn, and to test
okay,
how that particular test is being, evaluated using all those different channels. So this is my recommendation. So first,
okay,
create a landing page and put it in winter. And if you want to test, if you are building a performance marketing related project, I'm one of the evaluator in winter. You can directly assign it to me. If it is anything else, you can tag other members in winter.com. Once you have that result, based on that, create an hypothesis document, and based on the hypothesis, have a clear definition of all those taglines, and create a new type of ads, and start serving ads in Facebook and LinkedIn, and test basically how that works. So that's my recommendation.
Nice. Yeah, this tool sounds really interesting. I definitely have to try. I've not given a try yet, but I know that this
Okay.
exists. But I'll give it a try. Awesome. And let's talk about other social channels also, like Instagram, YouTube. How do you think they perform as a marketing channel for B2B SaaS companies?
Okay. Right. Okay. So if you're not doing anything within YouTube, I would suggest you to start doing immediately if you have like enough budget for within performance marketing. Why? Because YouTube is the second most used search engine in the planet.
Yeah.
So that is one reason. And the second reason is YouTube will increase your brand recall,
Mm.
right? What I mean by brand recall is, for example, you are searching for something, right? And you're searching for Nike shoes, and
Mm.
uh, you know, I can capture that particular searches within YouTube and then target you with the same shoes, right? Not with
Okay.
a like poster ad. I can even run a like a video ad or a bumper ad, just a 5 second or 10 second ad. So YouTube is the like most interconnected channel. You can use YouTube in mobile. You'll also use YouTube in tablet and in desktop and everywhere, right? And so I would say if you are planning for a multi-channel approach, YouTube is the best channel to increase your like your brand recall. So you have to test two
Mm.
things after doing a YouTube marketing. One is you should check the returning users to your website. So that is what I call
Okay.
as brand recall. If you go to Google Analytics,
Yeah.
behavior, returning
Yeah.
users, you'll see how many returning users you are getting from that particular channel. And second thing is you should also check direct traffic,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That so there are three social mediums, right? Like major things are, one is direct, organic, and other paid. And apart from that, referrals are there. There are four
Yeah.
main social medium. I would recommend you to check the direct traffic. So direct traffic is basically you're searching for something and I'm targeting you and you're seeing an YouTube ad, you won't actually click that ad, right?
Mm.
But this particular website will be in your top of head. And whenever you're
Yeah.
going to your laptop or you're searching for something, you will directly type that particular website in the browser, not in Google, right? So that's how it works, and it will increase your direct traffic eventually. You have to check for direct
Got
traffic,
it.
returning users, and also your brand search query volume. So
Mm.
let's do. I mean, this is a test for you. If you're started doing YouTube brand advertisement for over 6 months, just take the start date and where you are right now, and see how much of your search volume increased for your brand particularly,
Okay.
right? So it will be at least it will increase some percentage. I'm definitely saying it will increase. That is also one
Got it.
thing you can do with YouTube. So I would recommend to do bumper ads. I mean, like a very short ad, not more than 30 seconds. So just
Mm.
do a 30-second bumper ad and also a 5-second bumper ad. 5-second bumper ad is basically with a sharp sound, and it will come and then just fade away, right?
Yeah.
And it,
Right.
it increases more brand recall than others. And one more recommendation: don't spam users. uh, there are marketers who are actually spamming the YouTube users, regularly hitting on YouTube. So I would recommend to set a frequency cap. Frequency cap is limiting that particular ad shown to a particular user. So you can limit
Okay.
up to 10 impression per week. So that is an ideal number. So if that particular user is seeing your ad 10 times a week, then it's a spam, but 10 times a week is a good number, because two
Yeah.
times a day is ideally worked really well for us. So that these are all my suggestion, and more customer stories and more of your case studies and little bit of explainers will work rather than just doing something else. So these are all two type of concepts that you can test with YouTube, right? So that's where with
Right.
YouTube and Instagram, I would say again. So uh, right. So talking about Instagram, most of the people that I know who fell within this 30 to 40 or 25 to 40 age bracket, they are actively checking Instagram stories
Hmm.
than newsfeed ads, right? So I
Yeah.
would recommend the listeners to separate Instagram story from other placement and create a separate ad for Instagram story and start
Okay.
doing a story ad. You can do a static story or a carousel with a with like two or three continuation of your ads,
Hmm.
and you can also run a video within Instagram story. So that
Yeah.
is one of my recommendation. And newsfeed, it will work, but I would say it's up to you. Basically, if you have lesser budget, I would say just go with Instagram stories first. If you have more budget, I would say you should also test Instagram Reels ad. That is also another category that you can explore and then test more. Within LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn is the channel for. I mean, there are many things that I wanted to talk about LinkedIn especially. So LinkedIn is a channel which inbuilt has a lot of technographics and firmographics data, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
I think you can target basically X company, X user who's doing this X job, right? So
Yeah.
this is the platform to narrow target within your personas, right? So I recommend to create a framework for LinkedIn for all your personas, basically, and create more uh, uh, a solution oriented content than product oriented content,
Got
and
you.
you should create a funnel for that. For example, top of funnel. So let's say so you have like three bio personas. So co-founder and a media manager who's going to use your product, and a digital marketing executive or a HR who's an influencer. Influencers are
Hmm.
basically they will see your ad and post about your company in their company Slack group or email, and then
Yeah.
share it with their internally. So that those are all influencers and key stakeholders who are actually using the product, right?
Hmm.
And CEOs, co-founders, or whoever it is, those are all decision makers, right?
Yeah.
If I share how to create a report in 5 minutes to a CEO or to a co-founder, they don't give a like anything about it. They don't even interact to this particular ad. But if I show an ad saying, "Hey, X company raises 3 million funding. X
Hmm.
company tries to solve this particular business use case," then like CEO or CEOs or CXOs will be interested to see this particular ad. And if
Yeah.
the same tagline appears in front of me, hey, in this particular webinar, I can show you how to automate all your reports.
Yeah.
I'll be interested in seeing how to automate my report because that is my job to be done, right?
Yeah.
And an influencer or HR, right? So for them, you have to create a more top of funnel content. So that's going to be their jobs to be done. So you have to
Hmm.
create a framework for each jobs, and you have to present it accordingly. And I would recommend you to if you're doing LinkedIn, I would recommend you to create a target account list or dream 100 or dream 200 company list that you want to target or that you want to acquire basically as a customer, right? So you should create a target list and you can create a account based marketing for them
Yeah.
separately. That is also one approach I would recommend you to do. And apart from that, there is one key a feature in LinkedIn is called conversational ads. All right.
Yeah. Right.
So anyone watching this video, I would recommend you to start doing conversational ads if you're not doing it. So this is a new category of ad, which is you can reach. It's not an email, right? It's a,
Yeah.
inbox ad where you can automatically, create sequences. These are all pre-canned responses, and this increase visibility of your product. For example, if I'm targeting a CXO in US, and I can target the same person and reach out to that particular person. So the beauty of conversational ads is, let's compare your personal email versus your business email versus LinkedIn inbox. Okay,
Mm.
the open rate. So how many? I'm asking this question to you, Sunny. How many emails you open if you don't know who the sender is to in your personal email, within your personal email?
I I will never open.
Okay,
I will
same
never.
thing with business email. With business email, you don't know who the sender is, but you are getting that particular email within your business mailbox. What do you do?
I may just open, but I don't respond if it doesn't
Got it.
if it doesn't work
Got it.
for me.
So, okay, but if someone sends you a message in LinkedIn, what do you do?
I will definitely open.
That's the secret sauce within LinkedIn, basically. So LinkedIn is a platform. It's not just for advertisement, right? Like, there are, it's a platform where social connection happens. It's basically healthy connections to do
Yeah.
next steps, and there will be a lot of job opportunities coming in. So
Mm.
people are curious to know who the sender is
Yeah.
and why they are sending to
Yeah.
us,
Right.
right? And this is what I'm saying. If you are reaching out to the right person, they might at least read the first two lines of what you are writing. So if you are, standing out on that, if you have a hook on that, then that particular person will get to know about your product. And
Definitely.
immediately, if your outbound or SDR team reaches out to the same company, they will respond immediately. So this is how it
Yeah. Yeah.
works. So you have to be hand in hand with outbound and as well as inbound. So whatever you're
Inbound. Yeah.
doing in marketing in inbound, you should tell your SDR, hey, I reached out to this particular company and they have opened it. This is the right time for you to start
Reach out.
reaching out, like cold call or cold email or whatever it is, right? So
Got
it
it.
will work. So it should be a proper handoff between inbound and outbound, so that like your response rate will increase eventually.
Got it.
So yeah,
That's
that's
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing so much info about all of these social platforms. But when you were trying to explain the Instagram ads, I had this question. Will Instagram ads really work for B2B? Like, how well does
that's
it
a
work?
good question. Yeah, that's a good question, right? So Instagram ads, if you are running Instagram ads, there are two problems that will be there. So one is the audience, right?
Hmm.
So if you are just going with the interest-based audience that are native within the platform, that won't work, right? So what you have to do
Okay.
is you have to create a lookalike of your customers. You have to create a lookalike of your MQLs. You have to create a
Hmm.
lookalike of your SQLs, all right? And that will work. If you are creating a lookalike of your MQLs, SQLs, and lookalike is basically creating similar audience of your
Yeah.
already existing audience. So that's
Yeah.
the meaning of lookalike. And you have to create lookalike, and that will work. And if you have more budget, I would recommend you to check with Clearbit and Metadata. So these are all two other platforms where they provide audience directly to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you check Clearbit advertisement, so their positioning is do LinkedIn level of targeting in Facebook and Instagram. So that's their
Hmm.
positioning.
Hmm.
Right? Like what's LinkedIn level of targeting? LinkedIn level of targeting is you can target any job title, you can target any company, right? But let's assume if you have the same targeting methods in Facebook and Instagram, so you can easily target the right the personas, right? So if you have
Yeah.
more budget, I would recommend you to go with these two channels. But if you have less budget, then start going lookalikes and see how that works.
Got it. Awesome. So, yeah. And one last question. Uh, what are some best practices to align and work well with your marketing agency partner? Because I know a lot of companies, especially the early stage companies, will work with agencies in the initial days, right? So, like, what's the best way to work with an agency?
Got it. So they should be very clear in what they want to get from that agency. That's the first thing, right? Or else it won't work. And second thing, project management. Project management, either they should align internally, or else they should let that particular agency to take care of that, right? So
Okay.
all the collaboration, everything should be happen only within the project management tool, right? So for example, Asana, ClickUp, Trello, whatever it is based on that particular client need. So this is second thing. And third thing, so what happens is I would say all the early stage company actually need a partner, not actually a an agency just to make sure to get some extra bandwidth or something. So they need a
Yeah.
partner. So it should be like an extension of your digital marketing team or an extension of your marketing, right? So what I mean by that is they should operate in the same environment. For example, if you are using Slack, then that particular agency should also use Slack. If you are using Loom, then that particular agency also encourage you to use Loom, right?
Yeah.
And there should be minimal meetings, right? So minimal meetings, I would say it will help you to define what you need to do, and there will be a set agenda for every meeting, and you will just discuss that, all right? And apart from that, I would say you should share OKR for every quarter to that agency and ask them
Okay.
to achieve that particular thing. So these are all some first step. But before choosing an agency, I would recommend you to vet them carefully based on their expertise. Just ask them for a reference or
Mm.
ask them to share some of their case studies, how they
Okay.
did same thing for some of the other players and stuff like that. So you have to consider all those things before starting an engagement with an agency. But I would say you should also get a dedicated account manager or a dedicated campaign specialist so that they'll be more like an extension to your team, and you can just
Yeah.
assign a task directly in your project management. You can assign a task directly through Slack and stuff like that. And yeah, that's all about the tips to work best with an agency partner, and just give them some space. So that's it. Like if you are from a company and if you are reaching out to an agency, just give them at least 3 months. So 3 months is a pilot period that every agency will take at least for them to prove what they wanted to do. So this is how it works. The pilot period has 3 months, 30, 60, 90-day period, and the first 30, 30 days, they'll align and then know how both the teams work. And they'll do all the competitive research. They'll do all the, uh, uh, the existing landscape that you have
Yeah.
within all your marketing functions and all those stuff. And the second 30 days, it's going to be bringing consistency to the operations. And that time we'll know where we need to take backseat, where we need to double down and stuff like that. And second 30 days would be like more of experimentation and trying different things and stuff like that. And third 30 days is basically streamlining the operations, right? Streamlining the operations are like forecasting, giving a playbook, creating a playbook, and stuff like that. So these 3 months is essential for an agency to at least prove. And if it is an SEO partnership, then I would recommend to at least increase the pilot for 6 months. So the agency
Definitely.
needs 6 months to prove
Start
what they
showing
are
results.
start showing results and what they planned initially, right?
Mm.
So these two are my recommendations if you are considering an
Got it.
agency to work with.
Makes sense. Definitely. Awesome. So, just one last question before I let you go. What content resources do you recommend for our audience to learn more about performance marketing?
Okay. More about performance marketing, I would say be active on Twitter and follow some influencers in LinkedIn and Twitter. So that will help
Mm.
you for the most part. But right now, all the resources, all the content that's out there, they are writing for ranking. They are not writing for other purposes. But I would recommend to check PPC Hero for few things and uh, Measure School for marketing analytics thing. Like it's a YouTube channel, so you can check with Measure School for everything related to marketing. I mean, that's a really great channel. You can learn a lot from Measure School. But apart from that, you know, it's not everything. It's there within one particular website or something. You can
Yeah.
find it across. Right. So I would say Twitter and LinkedIn are the best sources to learn. So so yeah.
Okay. Great, great. Thank you, Sham. I think I got what I wanted from this session.
Yeah, one more
Thank you so.
last thing
Yeah.
I missed. Last thing I missed this. So yeah, if you want to learn or get up to date about Google Ads, I would say just check Google Ads Help. That's the best resource
Okay.
out there. So if you go to Google
Okay.
Ads Help and then start from overview section 1 to till 8, you will get to know about everything related to Google Ads in
Okay.
one particular website. So I would recommend you to check Google Ads Help rather than checking any other. So but CXL is doing some good job. You can also learn if you want any particular courses in digital marketing or any other marketing related fields.
Great. Thank you, Sham, for sharing all these with us. I had a nice time talking to you today. I'll give your LinkedIn profile in the description and your website link so people can get in touch with you later if they have more questions about, performance marketing. But yeah, it was nice talking to you, Sham, and talk to you again soon. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.